Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mr. English. This is Learn English Kids Easy, where we talk about real life using simple, helpful English. I'm Emily.
And I'm Paul. It's great to be back. Paul, I feel energized today. We're going to talk about a huge, very important topic, staying healthy.
That's right, Emily. And when we say staying healthy, we don't just mean exercise. We mean well-being. That's physical health and mental health together.
That's an excellent definition, Paul. So let's start with that key word, well-being. For our listeners, Paul, can you define that simply?
Of course. Well-being, or sometimes we say wellness, is the state of being comfortable, healthy, or happy. It's about balance. If you're physically fit but extremely stressed, your overall well-being is low.
I see. So it's not enough to just lift weights at the gym. We need a holistic approach.
That's a good word for our listeners, holistic. It means looking at the whole picture.
Exactly. We'll divide today's lesson into those two main parts, physical health and mental health. Let's start with the physical because it's often easier to see.
Physical health refers to the state of your body, how well your body functions. Like, are your legs strong, or do you have enough energy?
Precisely. And to talk about physical health in English, we need to know the right vocabulary. We'll cover everything from your joints to your metabolism today.
Wow, that sounds intense but necessary. And listeners, don't worry, we'll explain every word clearly. Now, before we dive into the deep vocabulary, Paul, what's a common phrase we use when someone looks very healthy?
A great one is, "You look well." It's simple, polite, and directly addresses their physical health. You can also say, "You look fit," or "You're glowing," if they look very vibrant and healthy.
I love "you're glowing." Okay, let's make a commitment to our listeners. By the end of this episode, you will have all the English vocabulary you need to talk about your fitness routine, explain a minor injury, and discuss your stress levels.
That's the plan. Remember to listen carefully, repeat the words after us, and put them into practice.
Okay, let's move on to the body itself. When we talk about fitness, we often talk about muscles and joints. These are the key parts of movement.
Right. A joint is where two bones meet, like your knee or your elbow. It allows you to bend and move. It's very important to keep your joints healthy, especially as you age.
And muscles are the strong parts that help you lift things and move. When you go to the gym, you are building muscle mass.
That's a great phrase, muscle mass. It means the size and amount of your muscles. Now, sometimes we feel bad. We feel run down. That means you are tired and a little unwell, maybe on the edge of getting sick.
Oh, I know that feeling. When I feel run down, I usually start to ache all over. A-C-H-E, ache.
Exactly. Ache is a dull, continuous pain, usually in a large area, like a headache or a stomach ache. We use it as a noun or a verb. Example, my back aches.
And what about pain? How is that different from an ache?
Pain is more general and often sharper or more intense than an ache. If you have a serious injury, you feel sharp pain. If you have a small problem, you might just have a dull ache. The verb is to hurt. Example, my knee hurts.
So if I bump my leg, I would say, ouch, my leg hurts. But if I've been sitting too long, I might say, my back aches.
Perfect distinction, Emily. Now, let's quickly cover 3 common minor ailments. First, a cold.
A cold. We all get them. You might have a sore throat, a runny nose, and a cough.
Yes, and a fever or temperature is when your body is too hot, usually above 37 degrees Celsius or 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit.
Second, flu. The flu is more serious than a cold. It often comes with body aches and extreme tiredness. You might say, I feel under the weather.
Under the weather. That's a great idiom. It means slightly ill. Third, a sprain.
A sprain is an injury to a joint, like your ankle. You might twist your ankle while running, and then it is swollen and painful. You need to rest it. Remember, when you visit a doctor, you will need to describe your symptoms, what you feel. You might say, I have a constant headache, or I have trouble sleeping. Now that we've covered the body parts, let's talk about using them. That is, exercise or working out.
I love this part. Paul, what's the difference between exercise and working out for our listeners?
It's subtle, Emily. Exercise is the general term for any physical activity that improves health. Working out is more specific. It usually refers to a planned session of physical activity, often at a gym or a specific location. You can exercise by taking the stairs, but you work out by running on a treadmill.
Got it. So, what are the main types of exercise people talk about in English?
There are three main categories. The first is cardio, short for cardiovascular exercise. This is any activity that raises your heart rate and makes you breathe faster. Think running, jogging, swimming, or cycling. The goal is to improve your stamina and endurance.
Stamina and endurance are key words here, meaning how long you can continue a physical effort. I personally love cycling. I try to cycle 3 times a week. That's part of my fitness routine.
A fitness routine is your regular plan.
Excellent word choice. The second category is strength training. This is focused on building muscle mass. This includes lifting weights, doing push-ups, using your body weight, or using resistance bands. And the goal of strength training is not just looking strong, but also boosting your metabolism, right?
Absolutely. Metabolism is how your body turns food into energy. More muscle means a faster metabolism. We use the phrase to bulk up when someone is trying to gain a lot of muscle, or to tone up for making muscles firmer without adding a lot of size.
I think I'm trying to tone up. The third and often forgotten category is flexibility training. This involves stretching and things like yoga or Pilates. It's crucial for preventing injuries and keeping your joints healthy. It helps with your range of motion. If you have a good range of motion, you can move your joints fully without pain. Let's talk about common exercise phrases. How do you describe the effort? You can say you're breaking a sweat when you are working hard and perspiring heavily. If you push yourself really hard, you might hit a wall or feel the burn in your muscles. And when we talk about goals, we use the verb to get into shape. I want to get into shape before summer. Or to lose weight or gain weight. It's important to set realistic goals.
That's a big one. Realistic goals. It means goals that are possible to achieve. And finally, if you stop exercising for a long time, you might say you are out of shape.
Exercise is
You need
only
to
half the
ease back
equation,
into
Paul.
your routine.
The other, perhaps even more important half, is nutrition and what we put into our bodies. That's absolutely right, Emily. We say you can't outrun a bad diet. Your diet is the food you eat regularly. When we talk about healthy eating, we focus on a balanced diet. What does a balanced diet mean in English? It means eating the right amounts of different food groups. The main ones are protein, carbohydrates, or carbs, fats, and things like vitamins and minerals. Let's break those down with vocabulary. Protein helps build and repair muscles. You get it from lean meat, fish, eggs, and beans. Carbohydrates are your body's main source of energy. Think whole grains, rice, pasta, and bread. They give you the fuel to work out. And fats are necessary too, but the right kind. We talk about healthy fats, like from avocado and nuts, versus saturated fats, found in many processed foods. We must also mention fiber. It's important for digestion. You find it in vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. If a food is good for you, we call it nutritious. If it's bad, we call it junk food or processed food. Now, let's talk about routines. Sometimes people decide to go on a diet. This usually means they are trying to lose weight or follow a specific eating plan. For example, they might decide to cut back on sugar or fried food. To cut back on means to reduce the amount. Or they might practice portion control, which means managing the size of the food servings. And sometimes you need a little treat. We call a planned indulgence a cheat meal. A cheat meal is a perfect phrase. It's one meal where you allow yourself to eat something you normally cut back on. But the most important part of nutrition is often forgotten: hydration. Hydration is the process of getting enough water. You need to stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water throughout the day, especially when you work out and break a sweat. If you are not hydrated, you might feel lethargic, tired, and lacking energy. So remember the equation: nutritious food plus plenty of water equals physical health.
We can't talk about staying healthy without discussing the mind. Mental health is just as important as physical health.
Absolutely. Mental health is about your emotional, psychological, and social well-being. A key enemy of mental health is stress. Stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension. We often say, "I feel stressed out" when we have too much work or too many problems. When stress becomes too much, people can experience anxiety. Anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease. People might say, "I feel anxious about the test tomorrow." If you are constantly stressed and anxious, you might experience burnout. Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged stress. You feel completely drained. To combat this, we need self-care. Self-care means taking time to look after your own health and happiness. It's not selfish, it's necessary. Part of self-care is practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness means focusing completely on the present moment, accepting your feelings without judgment. One popular way to practice mindfulness is meditation. Meditation is the practice of training your mind to focus and achieve a state of calm. You might say, "I meditate for 10 minutes every morning to clear her head."
To clear your head is a wonderful phrase, meaning to stop thinking about a problem. Another great phrase is to take a break. If you feel overwhelmed, you need to take a step back and recharge your batteries. To recharge your batteries means to regain your energy. Remember, talking about your feelings is vital. If you feel low or down, don't be afraid to say, "I'm struggling today." Being honest about your mental state is the first step to being healthy. Wow, Paul, that was a truly comprehensive look at staying healthy. We covered the physical, the nutritional, and the mental aspects.
We did, Emily. Remember, listeners, health is a journey, not a destination. We learned key vocabulary like well-being, muscle mass, to feel run down, and to cut back on sugar.
And we also learned about the importance of self-care, mindfulness, and how to communicate that you feel stressed out or anxious. Use these words in your daily life. Try to use 3 new phrases this week. For example, tell a friend, "I need to recharge my batteries this weekend," or "I'm focused on a balanced diet." Practice makes perfect. Thank you all so much for listening and prioritizing both your English learning and your health. We hope you feel motivated to get into shape.